with my hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back. God, I do the math back on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I said, babe, it's he said it's them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back.
This is the NFL on EA Sports, and we are in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, has Hawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Atlanta Falcons. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. A spin. Gets around him. Oh, nice move. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Now it's Carson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Play action. Now Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And look who, the former Seahawk first-round pick, Bruce Irvin. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Let's go, 14. 14.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And the pressure gets to him again. Vic Beasley. He's the one to get him this time. And back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Justin Hardy deep for Atlanta. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now Ryan on 2nd down. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first. On first down, Ryan. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Well, Charles, the Seattle Seahawks, they were 8-5 going into a Week 15 game against the 49ers, a team that they had beaten 10 straight times, and then they lose that game surprisingly 26-23, and as they tried to carry momentum toward the playoffs, I was surprised at that outcome.
I was beyond surprised. I thought that game was pretty much a lock because of the momentum Seattle was bringing in, the level of play that they were bringing, and you're taking on a team in San Francisco who's on their 3rd quarterback, although that young man, Nick Mullins, has acquitted himself quite well. But now, Seattle's got to sweat it out a little bit. The last couple weeks of the season, trying to get one of the 2 remaining wildcard spots, they've got Kansas City in a primetime game before they end up in their last game of the season. So look out for Seattle, but at the same time, they've got some work to do.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Wilson on first down. Pass incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Second and 10 now. Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get there.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
To the right side, and he's got more complete. He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on 4th down. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Well, the Atlanta Falcons, their offense takes the field again. And the story for them this year, if you had to sum it up in one word, I think you would agree, it's been injuries in 2018. This is not the year they expected to have.
And it really happened on both sides of the ball, but it happened bigger on the defensive side of the ball. Keanu Neal, their free safety. Ricardo Allen, their strong safety. Deion Jones missed 10 games at middle linebacker. Flip it over to the offense. Devontae Freeman missed much of the season at running back. Both starting guards, Brandon Fusco and Andy Levitri, were both out. You're exactly right. Injuries were the name of the game for the Falcons in 2018. Hopefully they can get everyone back and move forward because that's a dynamite team when they're all together.
There we go.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. It's the fullback taking it in, and the Falcons are in for 6. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. 52 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Flush to his right. Open space inside the 10. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Here's Wilson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett from 8 yards out. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Janikowski adds the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now Ryan on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A good pickup there, a 22. First down now, but that clock rolling.
21. 12. Hey, wait.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. It's caught over the middle, Hooper. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Coleman. And he'll take this one down to the 36. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. On 3rd down, that's Coleman. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Now it's Wilson. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wilson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And he quickly clocks it, and they're going to have a good shot at getting 3 here before the break. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They begin the drive with Coleman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Drops it off for Coleman. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Ryan now to throw on third down. It's caught. Jones. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 68 yards. And the Falcons are in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script?
Most of the time in the first.
Tyler Lockett. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 78 yards. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first 2 drives of the third quarter, 1 for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
Now it's Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 4 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big pickup there. 20 yards as they convert on 4th.
22.
Throwing now. Ryan on 1st down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They'll toss it to Coleman. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
On 3rd down, that's Coleman, and he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons have broken our tie. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he finally runs out of gas, but not before he's inside the 10-yard line.
Similar to golf, you never want to count a score before it actually happens, but you have to figure. They thought they were going to get 6 on that play. Great effort to keep them out of the end zone, but a big-time return.
Breaking the huddle, 1st and goal as the return team has set him up with golden field position. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, and now they're set up a little better here for 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
Get up!
Coleman now. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Here's Coleman. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Oh, fighting off the defender. Buying time to his left. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down.
Tuesday. Let it go.
Here's Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 13, and how about that? They're able to convert on 4th and 10. Ryan now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Here's Ryan. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
That's a good read there, partner. He sent everyone deep and got them to follow. And that opened up the gap in the middle of the field. He ended up picking up good yardage.
This is Coleman. And past the 30 down to about the 27. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Falcons on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They will run again with Coleman. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman in the final minute. And the Falcons have broken our tie.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown. Late in the game, they look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together, make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 43 yards. Back to throw. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now they've got to signal that field goal unit, and they have to sprint out there in a hurry.
And this is always difficult on the snapper because his heart rate is way up there. And he's got to calm himself enough to make an accurate snap.
Tempo, tempo. 380.
Back to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. This defense making some plays right now, aren't they?
And they look like a group that really locked in before this series started. Read their scouting reports, got back to reading their keys, and playing with excellent leverage up front.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
wants to throw it. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
And now the decision is to go for two. A gutsy call, and this, in effect, is your ball game right here. They run it with Carson, and he is into the end zone to bump the lead up two more. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard, you're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball.